We're at Lexington School, and we are here to celebrate something very important, very historic. Many occasions are called historic, but today truly is a special day for everyone in our state, and indeed our whole country. I think what we all understand is that it's important for we as adults to sacrifice some of our present to help our kids' future. That's really the story of America. Whether it began in Lexington, Massachusetts long ago, when brave men and women told King George that we wanted to have a democracy in this country, we've always believed that people who are older sacrifice in order to help the next generation. We're the custodians of the future. And that's why this law today that I'm going to sign is so important. And it really is important, I think, to salute all of those who've been involved in the passage of this law. You're going to hear from many of them in their little speeches here today that talk about the collaboration that went into this important mission. And it is a mission. We understood, especially after the last election, that the people of Illinois want to make sure we have the best schools in America. We don't want anyone to out-educate Illinois. We want to make sure that every child gets a good education. We don't want to lose anyone. And it's important, I think, that we understand that we're going to be judged by history decades from now, generations from now, not by how much we have in our bank account, or not what kind of car we drive, or what kind of big house we live in. I don't really feel that our time here on earth will be judged by those material decisions. Rather, we're going to be asked by generations hence how well we did for our kids and their future. And that's why this day is so important. It is an opportunity for all of us to come together and band together around a table with dialogue that's in the best traditions of American democracy, in Illinois democracy. We didn't do it the way some other states, even in our region, have sought to do it, where they exclude people or they demonize groups of people. We believe in teachers. We believe how important teachers are to our democracy and to all of us who are here today. I think every single person in this vast audience can remember a teacher that made a difference in your life. And so it's important that we have excellent teachers. That's the key to getting excellent students. And so we must have education reforms that help us deliver education that's second to none. And the people who participated in this great reform deserve a great deal of credit because they worked tirelessly. They worked night and day, literally, to make sure we got it right. And we had to do it together in a collaborative approach. And we want to make sure that everyone in America knows that when we have a big issue in our state, we don't push people to the side, but we bring everybody to the table. And we work at it till we get a good solution.
Well, I'd like to thank Governor Quinn for signing Senate Bill 7 into law that will have a direct impact on the lives of over 2 million children in the state of Illinois. 2 million children that are enrolled in our Illinois public schools and over 132,000 teachers teaching statewide. Yes, give it up for our teachers. And even more important for me, for allowing this bill to be signed here in School District 89. And thank you. Thank you so much. Well, a lot has been said. A whole lot has been said about Senate Bill 7. It's been named landmark, historic, essential tools, and a national motto. I agree with all of those adjectives. However, for me, both personally and professionally, I'd like to add the adjective, my aha moment. You know the moment that Oprah always talks about when you're living in your purpose? This is my aha moment. These are the very walls right here at Lexington Elementary School in Maywood that I played in, I learned in, and I developed in as a little girl. That is the reason why increase in instruction for the Chicago Public School students is so paramount. Yes, more time. More time. More time is needed in the length of day so that essential elements that build strong student leadership aren't left out. Those elements builds determination and ambition and strong character that needs to be formed within our children at this young stage in their lives. These are elements that are found in the student council, in music and in the arts, in athletics, including cheerleading, and also providing adequate time for lunch and recess. Yeah, kids need recess. Kids need recess. Kids need recess. And children need these elements in order to build healthy, solid foundations. And as we began this very difficult process of negotiations, various concepts and ideas were thrown around during veto session last year. I built upon the hard work and the tenacity that education stakeholders displayed when we were working together to submit a well-proposed application for President Obama's Race to the Top. It was a competitive bid grant program. Now, learning of the defeat of that, learning that we did not place, was hugely disappointing. I was disappointed. And many believed that we would not be able to bring education stakeholders together to agree on reforms. So, I took it on. I took this effort on as the big comeback, and I wanted to bring it home. Why? Because our children, all of our children, right here in the state of Illinois, deserve the opportunity to receive a quality education instructed by a highly qualified teacher, regardless. And they deserve to receive this highly qualified teacher regardless of the economics in their household or the environment to which they were born. Education is a basic civil right, And I will always stand in the gap for adequacy and fairness in educational opportunities for all of our children. All of the teachers' unions, reform groups, and management groups, they all agree with me as I often ask the question, as we engaged in dialogue, do we want what's best for the student, what's best for the children? It was not a simple task. It was not a simple task to get consensus on every item. All of our issues were so far apart, but what we did is we did it. We accomplished the goal. We did it. We put politics and personal agendas aside, and we put the children of Illinois first. We did it. We got it done. We put our children's education first.
If our kids can't read and our kids can't write, as the governor said, when a company's thinking about where they're going to locate a business or where they're going to open a headquarters, they want to know whether they have a workforce that can do the fundamentals right. And you can't do the fundamentals right with the shortest school day and the shortest school year. And then, now I'm not just a taskmaster here, so I want to dispel that. The kid right at kitty corner at the desk happened to have her birthday that day, and I said, well, if we have a longer school year, more kids will also have birthdays during the year, and you'll get more cake. And then I finally got 2 thumbs up on that one. Governor, state senate leaders, and state representatives, and all the other stakeholders. There are many times we do things that don't make sense. Today is not one of those days. We are finally making sense, and we did lead the country in a bill that will finally give us the length of day and years so our kids can learn and our kids can be safe, and we can reward the type of teachers that succeed to inspire the kids to do something with their lives. Thank you for your leadership.
This legislation helps us make sure that we have the best teachers in our classrooms and that we will be able to judge them by standards that will allow us to truly evaluate them and lead to more effective teacher performance. And that is what we are all after. This is a win-win for everyone. Students will benefit from the performance standards enacted for teachers, and teachers will be treated fairly. There's nothing more important to the future of a child than having a great teacher. We're all here because of two things: parents and teachers. And it's those parents and those teachers that throughout our lives have taught us all kinds of things, and we learned from them. So let us never forget what the critical elements of an education are: parents and teachers. But now it's time for the school district statewide to move to push our students to achieve more by working more effectively with principals and teachers, and I look forward to being part of that process. Finally, the part of this law which you've heard many people talk about, which excites me the most, is the ability to bring about a longer school day and a longer school year for our children. Time after time, I saw, as chairman of the Chicago School Board, and the results show this, that the more time spent on task in front of teachers with an effective plan, our children do better. There's no doubt about it. On behalf of the Illinois State Board of Education, and I want to tip my hat to our superintendent, Chris Cook, does a fabulous job, and to Darren Reisberg, who you've heard earlier, saluted for their tireless support in working with Governor Quinn and all of these stakeholders to make this bill come about. We very much look forward at the Illinois State Board of Education to implementing this landmark statute. Thank you very much.